Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome. Today I had this idea to create a video tutorial, kind of get ready with me style video, using products that I used to love that somehow just kind of fell out of my collection due to the overwhelming clutter and noise. All this stuff that I feel like I should have been buying over the last year, and now I'm just kind of looking back and I'm like, girl, I think your makeup looked a little bit better last year. Why'd you stop using these products? I'm not saying don't go buy yourself some new products, because everyone deserves a little something new every once in a while, but just I thought this would be fun to go back and dig out those old products and really see what works and what I should be using again. And this is the look right here. I'm quite pleased with it and quite happy that I went back and did this, because now I have rediscovered my old favorites and I could not be happier. In today's video, I'm actually going to be using this, whoa, there goes the kabuki, this lovely brush kit from Vanity Planet. I have a discount code for 70% off the whole darn brush kit, and that's just sarahdunk. I'll link it up on the screen and the link down below. They are sponsoring this video, so a big shout out to them. And I used the whole brush kit today, guys. Well, not all of it, but I'd say like 90% of the brushes, and they are super soft, amazing. They blend your makeup out like a dream, so I highly recommend you guys go check them out. They sell a whole bunch of other beauty related products, so if you're not interested in the brush kit, you have brushes already. Personally, for me, my brush kit is like a disorderly mess, so I was really excited to see that they sold makeup brushes. But if you're into other stuff too, definitely give them a check out. Definitely give them a look. What am I trying to say? I promise you guys will find something on there that you want to purchase. So without further ado, let's get into this tutorial. I can't say that word. Let's get into it. Here we go. Let's get started. Let's get the ball rolling. Guys, so I'm really excited to be getting into this look. I kind of dug through my collection this morning and pulled out everything that I could recall from my memory bank. So for primer, I used to always use, and still always use, the Porefessional Benefit Primer. So I would just always apply this in the center of my face. For foundation slash the base of the face today, I'm going to be going in with the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus Illumination Cream. And I used the regular one, the non-illumination one, last year, but I actually picked this one up. I don't really know why, because it has more glitter in it, and I don't really like glittery faces. I like dewy faces, but if you're interested in this product, I would just pick up the normal one because I feel like it's a little bit better. But for the sake of today, we're going to be using this one because it is an old classic favorite of mine, and I've gone back to it, and I'm obsessed all over again. It's a little bit more coverage than your average BB cream, but also doesn't look cakey or heavy on your skin, which is what I really like about it. So as you guys can see, I'm just applying it with my fingers and then blending it out with a brush and beauty blender. So to blend this stuff out after I use my fingers, I'm going to be using this flat top kabuki brush from Vanity Planet. It's like it's not a super dense brush, which I like because that means it's not going to take away too much of the product. And with something like this, you really want a nice airbrushed looking finish. And guys, if you live in Canada like myself, you'll be happy to know that IT Cosmetics is now being sold at Sephora. Like, can we just take a moment of appreciation for that? I walked in the other day and I was like, where am I right now? I saw my CC cream and I just had such a moment of joy. I think they're selling it for $49 at Sephora, which is pretty comparable to the US price, so I was quite happy that they didn't mark it up a bunch. For concealer, this is going to be interesting because I haven't used the Urban Decay Naked Concealer since last year, and I remember loving it and being obsessed with it. So I have mine in the shade Light Neutral. I'm just going to highlight under my eyes. I'm going to use it to cover any blemishes that are still peeking through. I'm going to take this concealer brush from the brush kit and just kind of start blending that out. Really get into the corners so we don't have any lines showing through. So even though I'm using mostly brushes for this tutorial, I do enjoy having a beauty blender on hand to really get in there and make sure everything is blended out seamlessly and there aren't any streaks or weird looking patches, you know what I'm saying? So the concealer is blending out nicely. It's definitely a more natural concealer, which is probably why I switched. I do really like the shade of this concealer, how it's blending out. And then I used to be super extra and go in with the Maybelline Age Rewind and just kind of use that down lower to highlight and on the bridge of my nose and in between there. You guys know the drill with that. Dabbing it out with this brush. So one of the main products that kind of sparked this whole video idea was the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contouring Palette. I have put in work on this palette, as you guys can see, but I just kind of put it away in my collection and then rediscovered it recently, and I was like, why the heck did I stop using this? Because it's amazing, especially these under eye brightening powders. So I'm going to go in with this slightly angled brush from the kit and use these two lightest powders, whatever is left of them, and just set under my eyes. Why I stopped using them, guys? Don't even know why. Can someone remind me if I stop using these again to like just go back? I think I used the contouring brush for under my eyes, so I'm just gonna grab a brush from my collection and take this shade farthest to the left and slightly contour. You guys are going to come to learn that I use brushes for all the wrong things. I'm going to go in with the Kabuki brush, and I'm going to be using the Essence Sun Club Dark Skin Bronzer to just kind of bronze up my skin tone, because I do have some self-tan on right now. I don't know why I always get this ugly like ring roll neck thing, but if you guys have been watching me for a while, I would always rave about the smell of this stuff. This is actually the matte one, not the shimmer. They discontinued the shimmer one, which, like, why would you do that, Essence? Because it was actually the best shimmery bronzer on the market, but the matte one is gonna have to do for today. And then just to be super extra, because apparently I used to go for that no makeup look, but I enjoyed using a bunch of products. So I'm gonna take the Laura Mercier Highlight 01 Matte Radiance Baked Powder, and I remember I used to love adding this down just over here, whatever this area is called, I really don't know, but it really adds a nice amount of brightness. Like, it's like a pre-highlight, you know, like a pre-drink before the actual party. This is like the pre-highlight to the highlight party. Pretty sure I should have used this brush, this nice fluffy dense brush for my foundation, but to each their own. We're gonna be using it for blush today. So blush, I picked this palette up last year, the Urban Decay Gwen Steffani blush palette, and I really put in work on this palette too. You guys can't really tell as much, but there's definitely a big old dent in this one here in the middle, and I just remember I really loved the shade of this. It was really flattering towards my skin tone, so we throwing it back, guys. Today we are throwing it back with the whole Luminosity dewy blush look. It's so pretty. Blush palette, I don't know if you can still get your hands on it, but Urban Decay blushes in general, really darn nice. I actually really like this brush as a blush brush. Try saying that 10 times fast, because I have a bigger face in general, so usually blush brushes can be quite small for me, and I feel like they end up looking a little bit streaky, but this looked really nice. Last year, I don't remember what setting spray I used exactly, but I do remember using the Mario Badescu facial spray, the rosewater one. I do have the aloe one now, and I gotta say, the OG is better. It's where it's at. So I'm gonna use this as my setting spray. And once again, if you have that beauty blender on hand, this spray is a little bit more splattery than a lot of the current facial mists out there on the market, so having this guy just to dab it out will be your best friend. So I have this little Becca Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop Holiday Collection palette from like last year, 2 years ago, I don't really remember, but as you guys can see, Champagne Pop here is pretty much already gone, but I neglected her for a while, and I honestly don't know why, because in my opinion, it is still one of the nicest highlighters out there in the game. Becca makes some really nice face products, so I'm going to be using this fan brush today. It got a little bit dented in the packaging, but still super soft. I feel like it's going to do a nice job. And just tap this in there. A little bit goes a long way with these highlighters, so we want to be very careful. I know you can't get this palette anymore, but seriously guys, Champagne Pop is like, it's like gold in a palette. It is amazing. And I've never used a fan brush before, but I feel super luxe right now, and I feel like it's just adding the perfect amount of highlight so you don't look overdone. So for brows, I'm quickly gonna do them off camera because I'm not a brow expert and I will just be sitting here for hours. I'll get really frustrated and it won't be a pretty situation. But I'm gonna be using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, which I used to love and use religiously, and the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, another classic favorite of mine. So I'm gonna pop these on my brows and get back to you with the eyeshadow look. I don't know why I stopped using this little brow pencil right here. The tip is so fine. It's really nice if you have thicker brows to use a very fine pencil because you don't want to go heavy-handed, and this really helps just make the whole process a lot easier. So I found my new best friend again. We were separated for a while, but we came back to each other. That's the important part. Using these 3 eyeshadow brushes from the kit today. I think there's actually like 6 eyeshadow brushes in total, but since this look is pretty simple, we're just gonna be using these 3 guys. So for eyes, what I can remember for my whole eyeshadow routine last year, all I would do is add some bronzer in the crease and some highlight on the lids. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, using the same products that I used for the rest of my face. I'm still a big fan of this look, but just it looks a little bit different now because, as I said, I've been using different bronzers and different highlighters, but this whole combination of the Essence bronzer and the Becca highlighting palette is really pretty, especially because there's 3 different shades of highlight in there, so you can add some to be a little bit more dramatic or just stick with Champagne Pop all over the lid if you want to keep it nice and simple. And I actually just really like using my finger to really pack on the color. I feel like it's going to give you the most pigmentation since these are highlighters and they're technically not supposed to be used as eyeshadows. Putting it on with your finger is going to give you the most punch of colors. And I'm going to take a smaller little eyeshadow brush and go in with this white shade and pop that on and pop that in the inner corner. We are glowing, we are great, I'm sweating. It's a true dewy makeup tutorial, guys. So to finish up the eyes, I'm gonna apply some of the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. This used to be a favorite of mine, I believe, from what I can recall in my memory bank, and then just apply some nude liner. This is a Rimmel really beat up, disgusting looking eyeliner in my waterline just to make things look even brighter. Alright, so I got some mascara down here, obviously, so we're just gonna let that chill and dry off. Thought we would finish it off with lips in the meantime, so I used to love the Aqua lip color stick thing by Makeup Forever in the shade 3C. It's like a really nice corally orangish nude, I guess that's how you describe it. Really good for summer. And then I became obsessed with NYX London Soft Matte Lip Cream last summer as well, so this lip combo, I just re-fall in love with it right here, right now. Alright guys, so this is the final look, the throwback sarahdunk from a year and a bit ago. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was really fun playing around with these products again and just kind of rediscovering some old favorites. It just goes to show that you don't need to buy new makeup every single day or every single month, or just keep it to every single year if that's your cup of tea. I'm really happy with the way that this look turned out, and I'm really glad that I still have these products in my collection. So leave me your comments down below. Let me know what products of yours have been like your holy grails, your go-tos, the things that you will never toss out of the garbage no matter what the beauty influencers on the internet tell you that you should be buying and using instead. So leave me your feedback down below. Let's chat. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more videos in this type of style, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah!